Listen carefully. Your mind isn't tired because something went wrong. It's tired because nothing became clear. Pain has an ending. Uncertainty doesn't. And the human nervous system is not built to live inside unanswered questions. If you feel constantly unsettled, not devastated, not broken, just quietly on edge, you're not weak. You're experiencing emotional uncertainty. And psychologically, it's one of the most destabilizing states a person can be in. Most people think emotional pain in relationships comes from obvious moments, arguments, rejection, loss. But emotional uncertainty doesn't come from impact. It comes from instability. The relationship still exists. Communication still happens. But the reliability disappears. And the brain doesn't respond to intentions. It responds to patterns. From a psychological standpoint, emotional uncertainty is what happens when emotional signals become inconsistent. Warmth appears, then withdraws. Availability fluctuates. Closeness has no rhythm. The nervous system depends on prediction. Prediction is how the brain stays calm. When outcomes are predictable, the system powers down. When outcomes are unpredictable, the system stays alert. That's why uncertainty is more exhausting than rejection. Rejection hurts, but it answers the question. Uncertainty keeps the question alive. Am I safe here? Do I matter? Is this stable or temporary? Those questions don't get asked once. They get asked all day. That constant internal checking is what drains people. Not emotion. Not sensitivity. Not insecurity. Cognitive load. The brain is burning energy, trying to stabilize something unstable. Uncertainty is not a feeling. It's a nervous system state. And once you understand that, you stop trying to calm your thoughts and start paying attention to the signals your system is reacting to. People don't feel unsettled because they're emotionally weak. They feel unsettled because their nervous system is waiting for stability that hasn't arrived. Here's the reframe most people miss. You're not exhausted because you care too much. You're exhausted because your brain is working without reliable data. Every inconsistent signal forces the mind to reassess the situation again. Not once. Repeatedly. That constant reassessment feels like overthinking. But it's actually a survival function. Your nervous system is trying to answer a simple question that never gets resolved. Do I need to prepare for loss? Or can I relax? When that question stays unanswered, the system never shuts down. That's why emotional uncertainty doesn't feel dramatic. It feels tiring. This is also why people turn on themselves. When there's no clear explanation, the mind looks inward. What did I do? What should I fix? What should I change? Not because the person lacks confidence, but because the brain prefers self-blame over unresolved ambiguity. Self-blame feels controllable. Uncertainty doesn't. This distinction matters. Emotional uncertainty is not anxiety. Anxiety is the response. Uncertainty is the condition. People don't enter relationships anxious. They become anxious when emotional predictability disappears. That's why emotionally strong, grounded people can still unravel. In unclear relational environments, the nervous system reacts before personality gets a vote. Another common misunderstanding. Emotional uncertainty is not about distance. Distance with clarity is tolerable. Distance without clarity is destabilizing. It's not the absence of closeness that hurts. It's the absence of knowing where you stand. And when that absence becomes a pattern, the nervous system never fully rests. Sleep becomes lighter. Focus weakens. Emotional regulation drops. People often describe it as feeling off, even when nothing looks wrong, because the system isn't reacting to events. It's reacting to instability. This is where many people make the mistake. They try to think their way out of emotional uncertainty. They analyze messages, decode tone, search for reassurance. But uncertainty isn't resolved by thinking. It's resolved by information. Either consistency returns, or the system is forced to accept that it won't. Until then, the mind stays suspended, and suspended systems burn energy. That's emotional uncertainty. Not confusion, not neediness, but a nervous system waiting for stable signals that never fully arrive. Here's the truth that matters. If your body feels unsettled, it's not because you're failing to cope. It's because something essential is unclear. And the nervous system doesn't negotiate with ambiguity. It either receives clarity or it stays on guard. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, you're not imagining it. You're responding correctly to instability. And naming that is how you stop carrying it blindly.